You'll have additional time as well because you didn't make opening remarks.
You know what I may want to do, Mr. Chairman, is just submit my opening remarks for the record. That way I'll go back to my 5 minutes and keep this on a timely show.
One of the few senators who wants less time than being offered.
But having said that, if I go over, please don't cut me off. Having said that, thank you very much for holding this hearing for both the chairman and the ranking member. And at risk of irritating you, like Senator Begich claimed, you know that I'll be talking about backlog statistics, and I would certainly appreciate a rescheduling of the hearing on the backlog information, and I'll talk about that in just a minute. But I am looking at the latest statistics, and I want to thank both of you for being here. Secretary and smartest guy in the room, Philip, here, for taking some time. But I'm looking at the latest average days of completion in the Varro and Reno. And I bring this up because Reno has the worst VA regional office in the country. And I've been hitting on this, and I think it's a management problem. I don't think the rank and file in that office are at fault here. I truly do believe it's a management problem, and I'm certainly hoping and have called for changes in that particular office. But the average days to complete now a pending claim is about 340 days. I have been harping on this for 5 years, and they're making progress. In 5 years, they've reduced it 10 days. That's it. We've gone from 350 to 351 days down to 340 days over 5 years. 5 years. And you got to imagine it's pretty frustrating. And I'm not frustrated for myself. I'm frustrated for every veteran in the state of Nevada that truly needs the help, the benefits, and health care that they deserve. On top of that, we had an Inspector General report. Found that 51% of the disability claims that were reviewed in this Varro were inaccurate. I have to tell you, I appreciate your opening statement, your openness, and concern for openness. I think that's important. Transparency is important. Bob Casey, Senator Casey, and I, because he has similar problems in Pennsylvania, worked together. Our staff worked very, very hard. We came up with this VA claims backlog working group, submitted legislation with that. Are you familiar with the information in this?
I would tell you that I'm aware of it. It would be a stretch for me to say that I'm familiar with it.
Okay. Fortunately, I'll be able to meet with the nominee tomorrow and get an opportunity for him to also address it or take a look at it. And because I think it's very clear, the concerns, the problems that we have, and I think it does address some of those problems, and legislation is available. What's good news is Senator Moran and Senator Tester from this committee are also co-sponsors of this legislation. I think it would go a long way so that we don't, in 5 years, have a 10-day improvement, that hopefully in less than a year we could see perhaps a much greater improvement. I want to get on another topic real quickly, if you don't mind, and that is an issue that we have in the state of Nevada. There's a small city in southern Nevada called Pahrump. Pahrump has about 6,000 veterans down there, and you're shaking your head, Philip. I'm glad to see that. They have been waiting for a VA clinic for several years now, and the director in Las Vegas, Director Duff, has approved it. They're now waiting for the national VA officials here in D.C. to get this done. What is the status?
I have to get back on the detailed status. We've had some issues with our, if I may, our lease authorities that we've been trying to work through. And I think some folks here may be familiar with that have resulted in some delays in getting leases enacted. We had some challenges on the procurement side of that, as I think your staff has been briefed over the years. And right now we're working through trying to make sure that we can exercise our lease authority in the current environment. That is the challenge we have, sir.
Do you have any timeline for approval of this clinic?
I don't right now. It's not an issue of approval. It's an issue of actually affecting a lease agreement.
Do you think we can get an answer perhaps by this fall or something?
I will get it to you sooner than fall.
If you would, please.
I will personally go in and look at it.
I want to talk about, I got just another minute here, about the face-to-face audits, reviews, and the problems we have scheduling. We had an audit. First phase was released on June 9th, and this is with the Las Vegas VA Hospital, Southwest VA Clinic in Nevada, and they said that it needs further review. Do you know if those reviews have been completed?
We have referred all of those cases to the Inspector General. And we have prepared a detailed set of briefings. I think we're trying to schedule it now with the committees and with delegations to walk through the audit findings, as well as why someone would have wound up on a further review list. I know it's taken us a while to do that. I want to apologize for the amount of time.
I just want to make sure there isn't we don't miss the follow-up. I wouldn't anticipate that you would, but do we have any timeline into when those follow-up?
I would tell you, the question there, somebody mentioned earlier that the IG's in over 70 different locations.
Sure, I'm sure.
Any location where the IG's in, we're not able to go in and do any additional review. We've created accountability audit teams to go into all of those where the IG isn't, and those are scheduled to be completed. I think it's by mid-August is the completion time, but in the meantime, we're going to provide some briefings on what the findings were and what we know.
Thank you very much.
I'm going to be in Reno in August. I have to go out there to speak. We'll get you the dates. I'll make sure these
If you
guys
would,
get you the
please.
dates when I'm going to be there, and I will go visit the RO while I'm there.
If you would. Thank you very much. Mr. Chairman, thank you.
And lastly, we appreciate the opportunity to provide some technical input on the leasing issue.
Great.
I think we have furnished some of that information to the staff, Mr. Chairman, that would help us, be very helpful for us to be able to move forward.
Thank you.